A lot of good questions came from the last several videos, so let's sit and chat. It has been a while, so grab you some tea or a coffee, something. Let's get caught up. Today I'm answering questions straight from the comments. There were a few reoccurring topics. Even though I try to answer every single comment, there are some things that are just hard to really address in the comment section. It is for me anyway. I'm a talker. I love the idea of catching up with each other, hopefully each month. Plus, if someone asked in the comment section, then that means there's probably somebody else was wondering the same thing, but just didn't ask. So ask those questions so we can have some good chats. I'm going to go through the videos in order, starting from our last sit and chat. We're going to start with the oldest videos and work our way towards the newest. I've already answered most of these questions that I'm going to go over today, except for one. It wasn't the nicest tone, or at least it didn't seem that way to me. And I'll address that one here in a bit because that is a topic that keeps coming up. Let's start with the video, The Big Tallow Lie. If you watched that video came from hearing the same frustrations from people over and over in the comments. People struggling with confusing labels when they tried to purchase tallow, problems with consistency, and then feeling like they were doing something wrong when they would make the tallow balm and it didn't turn out looking like mine. I never dreamed I would be talking this much about tallow. So the Mimsy asked, so would you say that any non-suet tallow isn't good for skincare at all? No, for some people it's just fine. What she is referring to when she says suet, that is fat from a cow. Now the other fat from the cow is still excellent. I've done so many other videos and it has revealed some issues. And those issues were brought to my attention from you guys. Everybody has different skin types and many people can use all parts of the fat for tallow. However, so many people have had issues and the tallow unfortunately gets the blame for things like breakouts, and that could be from a lesser quality fat or it could be other ingredients that have been added into the tallow balm. So when I'm recommending it, I'm wanting to give the best option for people to get the best results consistently. One way to think about it is you have the suet fat, and that is the highest quality fat from the animal. Then you have your other hard fats from the animal that are good fats. They're a harder consistency. Then the quality moves down to the fats from some of the muscle meats. So when you're using suet-based tallow, you're starting with only the highest quality fat. Now, if you take every bit of the fat from the cow and render that all together, including the softer fats, you end up with tallow with varying levels of quality. Excellent for cooking. It's similar with skincare in general. A high-end skincare product and a drugstore skincare may have the same ingredient, but the quality and the refinement of each of those ingredients are very different. That doesn't mean one's bad, it's just a quality difference. The benefits are still there, it just may vary. I said all that because it leads to this next comment. And it was Soul Sign or Soul Scene. I will pronounce these wrong, I know. But she said, I appreciate you creating this video. However, I disagree that non-suet tallow does not make good beauty products. While the suet version may be best, non-suet tallow can be great. A work with what you have kind of thing. I am mid-50s and consistently guessed 10 to 20 years younger. Anyway, thank you for your time and information. First of all, Soul Scene, you go girl. Good for you. And my response was, actually, I do agree with you that using what you have is best, and if it works for you, that is wonderful. I've done videos on skincare and tallow. So many people were having huge issues. It's a complicated topic that is really hard to cover in a very short video. Now, I could talk and talk about it, but nobody would probably watch that long of a video. They wouldn't. So she so nicely said back, you get 2 thumbs up from me. You're doing great videos and tackling this stuff in a very approachable way. We're all just doing the best we can, and I'm a firm believer in using what you have access to or what your budget allows you to do. Just do the best you can with what you have. I just want to say I really appreciate comments like that, and that's the kind of conversations I want. That's why these chats are nice. Oh, this is funny. There were comments like this too. People will put anything on their face if they are told it will make them look younger. Well, yeah. I think that's been proven over the years. Yeah. People will. I don't know why that surprises them. All right. Let's move on to the next video's questions. The frankincense facial scrub. And before we go into that, I have something funny to share. Hold on, let me get it. Oh, y'all, I'm going to have to get me a comfy chair for these chats. I spelled frankincense wrong. And I didn't notice until I was editing this last video. And that oil has made an appearance in several videos. I am horrible at transposing numbers and letters. And actually, I can't believe somebody hadn't called me out on that sooner. I think I might just leave it that way and see if anybody notices. Back to the comments. Kathy McCormick says, can you make this in an Instapot or a slow cooker? And the answer is yes. What Kathy's referring to is in the video where we infused the frankincense oil before we made the scrub. I used a crock pot. So yes, an Instapot would work. Someone mentioned using their dehydrator to infuse oils. Someone mentioned a yogurt maker. Anything that you feel comfortable leaving that will hold a consistent temperature. So anything you feel comfortable leaving for 24 hours. Shelly Press On 204. My resin was white when ground, but turned dark after adding the oil. Is that okay? And a lot of people notice differences in their resin, color, texture, consistency. There's different varieties of the Boswellia resin, and that is normal. And many of you chimed in saying, yes, it's normal. It's nice when others share their experience. I love the comment section most of the time. So Lisa said, I cleaned my grinder with Everclear. Worked great. Now what she's talking about is, this was mentioned before. I thought it was worth mentioning again. Several people had trouble with the resin gumming up their coffee grinders. Lisa said Everclear cleaned hers right up, and Miss Janet at one time had said 90% isopropyl rubbing alcohol cleaned hers up. One thing I wanted to add to remember with the scrub, in the oil, that resin will continue to dissolve. And when I use the scrub, I use some of that oil to get it to rub around good. Oh, it's so yummy. So you can add in some more oil of your choice. I use the jojoba oil, and that will continue to dissolve a little in that oil and continue to make a nice infused oil. So use it up. Don't save it for something special. That stuff is so yummy. I will put that oil on my face after I scrub and kind of leave it on for while I do things, and then rinse it off. And that way you just have that strong frankincense resin oil kind of acting like a mask after your scrub. So it's lovely. It's my favorite thing. So many of you shared what you made and you love it. For instance, Janet798, I've used it just a couple of times and can definitely see the difference. Thank you so much. And then Miss Kathleen said, I did just what you said and I love the scrub. Thank you. It's amazing. If you have not checked out those videos, you need to go check them out. Now the next video was the pain relief balm and the anti-aging oil. So my misspelled frankincense bottle made another appearance in this video, and this is where I noticed I'd spelled it wrong. And there were several other questions about, can they just infuse the frankincense or comfrey in the castor oil instead of the jojoba? Yes, you can, but if you do, I would recommend you do the long, slow infusion. I didn't want to heat the castor oil for 24 hours. I didn't want to break down any of the goodies of the castor oil. That's why I chose the jojoba. And also, castor oil is kind of sticky. I felt like it would limit me into how I would use it. So if it's in the other oil for the balm, then I mix it with castor oil. And if for the anti-aging oil, I like to use the oil because it's lighter and then I can layer the castor oil over it and use that at nighttime. Then I still have my anti-aging oil that I can use in the day or other times when I don't want to put on sticky castor oil. So that's why. But yes, you can. It's just going to limit you. And this video brought up another round of questions about the oils for the face. And coming up is the comment that I haven't answered yet. The first comment is Miss Betty 8769. Why not avocado oil on the face? And is castor oil a no for the face? And I answer her, castor oil is yes for the face. I love castor oil. And that brings me to other comments and statements about the castor oil. I mentioned this in the video. If you add castor oil, that will help the other constituents from the oils, the frankincense and the comfrey. It will help those things infuse deeper into the skin. That's what castor oil is good for, one of the things. That's why I used that in the pain relief balm. But I don't think I mentioned it with I didn't say a lot about the anti-aging oil with the frankincense and the comfrey. But yes, the castor oil will help that penetrate deeper as well. So I already talked about the frankincense oil in other videos, but adding the comfrey to this oil, to me, brought it next level. This is my new favorite oil. Do I need to go over that in another video, more on that oil? Yes or no? Let me know. I think I do. So now, the comment that I have yet to answer. I'm going to read this to you how I interpreted it. Might not be how she meant it, but it's how I took it. I am Jetta7 said, you need to specify that avocado oil can be used on the face. It's your preference not to. Avocado oil is great for skin, and that includes the face. So my answer is, well, like I said, I didn't actually answer her. It would have been a very long answer, so maybe she'll see this video or the oil video coming up. Well, I don't recommend avocado oil or olive oil for skincare, and here's why. Some people do absolutely fine with it. Many people do. Not all avocado oils or olive oils that are on the store shelves are created equal. A lot of products can be labeled pure olive oil or pure avocado oil when they contain other oils and additives. There is no standard enforceable regulations for avocado and olive oil and its labeling. And it's very common in cheaper oils to have something else blended in it. And they don't have to put it on the label, and yes, it's an actual thing. I'm not making this up. Another thing is avocado oil is often refined, and when you refine it, that process changes the makeup of the oils. So there's a lot to consider, and I use avocado oil. But if I just say, oh, use avocado oil or olive oil, people go out and pick up the cheap one, and who knows what's in that, and then they're wondering why what I told them how to make is gross. So that's why I don't feel good recommending it. Plus, I don't like the smell of olive oil for my face. I love it on my food, but not on my face. So there's so much to consider with the purity and truth in labeling, oxidation. It can feel overwhelming, and that is exactly what I'll go into depth about in that oil video. Now the glycerin hydration spray, the glycerin hydration spray, and why I don't use hyaluronic acid. This is the most recent video, and it didn't have too many questions on it. And this question did come up in the comment section a lot, and it pertains to this video, and this video is actually the answer to it. So here's this question. Jalen Peck 1037. What do you use on your body? I still itch in the winter, even with the oils and the butters. I use that glycerin and rose water spray. I just spray that all over my body, and I kind of let it air dry just a minute, not long at all. Then I follow up with my tallow balm or my oils, whatever you like to use, but that really makes a drastic difference. And several people have commented that that did help. I've been thinking about a body oil combo, mixing up some things. I'm thinking about working on one of those and see what I come up with. I've been recouping from the holidays and I usually stick to a pretty healthy routine, but the holidays always get me off track. I'm trying to get back into the healthy groove. Some of the things I've been working on and should be coming up in a little bit are the lymphatic drainage, because mine is sluggish. And seed starting. It's time, believe it or not, to start some seeds, some garden plans. If these things sound interesting to you and you haven't yet, hit the like button and the subscribe button and the little bell notification. If you click it, you'll get notified as soon as a new video comes out. And as soon as that olive oil video is out, I will link it right here. But in the meantime, I'm sure YouTube has a video that they think you might find interesting. I thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. My name's Loanna, and this is a little bit of Homestead.